Hello, this is C.R.P.H.A. Health, and also this video is going to be in connection with our C.R.P.H.A. disability advocate. The Health Watch one will start by stating that New York, not too long ago, within this same millennium, not this year, but within the millennium, they implemented um, something that they thought would help fight obesity by raising the price of fruit drinks, energy drinks, and soft drinks, to name a few. That, New York, is not a way to fight obesity. There's other logical ways to fight obesity. You don't need to raise the prices to where there's like less and less of soft drinks being purchased. The basic fact is that New York needs to wake up and smell the coffee, smell the deodorant, and smell the basis of reality, which is the bright rose in the center that they keep on missing, metaphorically. Is that there are many ways, like I said, there's many ways to take care of many things that are known as an epidemic, many things that are known as a issue that's health related and what have you else. Um, but in the sense of the obesity part, raising your prices all across the board within every store, restaurant, and mini mart and little snack shops and such, that's not a way to fight obesity. What is regulating something to where the parents are responsible. It is the parents' responsibility to section off various things. That way, the obesity aspect, to start with, would be not a very huge issue. But with this fast-paced, high-pricey bullshit of a economized world that we're in right now, especially with it being still known as the information age, is that parents feel that they don't have the time to do that. They don't have the energy to do that. Guess what? I have the energy and I'm still working. I would easily regulate when it's okay for my children to drink snack drinks like soft drinks, energy drinks, and such like that. And even when it comes to candy bars and all the other treats, if I can do it, parents, you can do it. You parents need to realize children were not whispering in your ear saying that they want to be born when you don't even see them before they're actually born. Children are brought into this world by various actions that adults aren't really ready for. Even the teenagers claim that they are ready when they're really not. Even the 20-year-olds claim that they are ready when they really are not. Regardless if you call it being pregnant a pregnancy a surprise or a shock or whatever the hell else, there's ways to make sure if you don't want to take the responsibility to raise a child from infant on up, and regulate their snacks and such like that without having the state and county do it for you, which basically New York is doing it the most illogical way of many ways. Then start doing the things by let's see. For women, you can go into what's known as a tubal ligation. Men and the men that are married to you or going with you would have to agree to do the same thing. If you are truly going to be with them, but if you're not going to be with them, and if you're going to be with them till you decide you can get somebody better women, guess what? They don't have to do it. So basically, you took the initiative to open your legs. You had the initiative to give birth, to let the embryo grow within you, to give birth to the child. Now it's up to you to regulate the amount of soft drinks, fruit drinks, energy drinks that they get, and including with the McDonald's hamburgers and the other fast food hamburgers, and the snacks and treats and the ice creams and such like that. But on the city and county side of New York City to start with, New York needs to do exactly the same thing that California is doing. California has what's known as a California state rate, redemption value. That redemption value is given to people who recycle and bring into the recycling companies, and that goes by pound, weight, and how many cans, all in one. The circle. So New York, get the prices back down. They're not the soft drinks and snack treats and whatnot are not Mercedes Benz. They are not a BMW. They are not an Infinity vehicle. Getting on to the disability aspect here of C.R.P.H.A. Disability Advocate. Well, let's see. Many times I've seen many different people react in a very different way towards those um, that have various types of disabilities, and many of them have been reported on the news, every local news across the board and across the U.S. There is to be no bullying of any human being that has a disability. It's not their fault that they have a disability. It's not their fault that they were born with one or diagnosed with one. They shit, piss, and wipe their ass the same way as everybody else does. Sometimes they require assistance. That's not their fault either. They may have a different way of learning, and I can tell you from my experience, each time I've been out and about, out on my travels anyway, that that I've noticed many people with disabilities have knowledge that we may have forgotten, didn't didn't really take the time to think about because of various other things, which is okay. Um, but there are many things that people with disabilities can teach us, and they can teach you. Maybe something that you didn't even realize, or didn't even know about, or maybe even forgot. Even if you are in school or not, or if you've already graduated in about within the same year or same month or whatever. Each person that has a disability needs to be treated the same way you would want to be treated, in the most respectful, logical, positive way and manner. You keep on bullying them, you keep on haggling on them, you keep on doing things that can easily harm them to the points of death, or even remotely scarring them in some way, even emotionally and psychologically, you can be put in prison for it. You really need to think about that. You can be put in prison for it. For anything that you do that's not a positive, respectful thing to the people with disabilities, be that if they're in a wheelchair, blind, or deaf, or a walking dog type thing, or any number of other things, even diagnosed ones, right? You don't treat them with respect, then obviously you don't want respect for yourself. You may say while you're listening to this that, yeah, I want respect, but I don't have to give people with disabilities respect. That's a load of horse shit. You would give the same level of respect to those you want to give you respect. Let's put it this way. Now picture yourself in their shoes. You would not be asking for the disability that you were given, or that you were born with, or that you were basically diagnosed with. Put yourself in that shoe and picture you in their body, in their sense of mind and abilities and such, and picture the another person being in your body, treating you essentially the way you treat them, in the most negative, illogical way. You would easily be emotionally stricken by it, hurt, wonder why the person's doing it to you. It could be a he or she doing this to you, and you would want them to stop, but yet they may not stop. They may keep on haggling. You wouldn't like that very much. I can guarantee you that right now. You may get defensive, but they won't care if you were the one with the disability. Yes, the people with disabilities do get defensive, but hey, if you're gonna show that you don't give a damn and you keep on haggling on them, people can do the same shit to your ass, as if you have a disability. Now, really think about that. And also the more you do things that can easily put you in prison for doing various negative things, even harmful things to a person with a disability, wheelchair or not, your future would be completely fucked. What you want to do for yourself and your career choice, it'd be extremely hard to get to because of your prison record, or because you had a certain number of years, a certain number of time in jail. And once they look at your criminal record, because they can look at it right through your social security number, as they do background checks. And if they see why you were behind bars, it could be any number of things besides assaulting a person with a disability. It could be many different things. Your future would be still fucked. I paint a pretty bright picture, don't I? If you really, 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 truly think about it, you will see that I'm right. So, once again, treat those with disabilities, diagnosed, wheelchair, blind, deaf, walking dog, mentally retarded, physically handicapped, psychologically handicapped, or anything like that, right? Treat them with respect. Treat them with the most strongest honesty and positive emotion that you know how to. Do not place any harm upon them or even against them. Don't tease them, don't haggle them on, don't do nothing negative. And the more you do that, eventually the same thing will be done for you in a positive way when you become elderly, especially. And yes, unless some horrific thing happens to you, to where you're still possibly what 20s, 30s, teens, 40s, 50s, whatever. And if you don't reach 80, 70, 60, is one of elder aspects, senior citizen aspects, then basically you will still be getting respect, but at the same time is that it wouldn't be your fault because of your demise, whether it's natural causes or someone shot you and got arrested eventually, um, or um, or if you got smacked by a fucking drunk driver. Who knows? Many things can happen. But the basic fact is, this topic is directly for the disabled. You want respect from people, you need to show respect. You want trust. Trust is not simply given, it's earned. Women need to realize this too. Oh, don't you trust me? That's a different part. The basic fact is, women need to realize also that trust is earned. Just because women are female doesn't mean that it's going to be automatically handed to them without question. Doesn't work that way in reality. Getting back onto the health watch advocate of C.R.P.H.A. There's many things here. Okay, Popeyes is making their food the old-fashioned way. The Popeyes chicken restaurants, fast food franchise. They need to do something different because the way they're doing it with grease and all that crap, it can cause heart murmurs, heart attacks, and strokes. So Popeyes needs to reinitialize everything within every one of their restaurants, even franchised, to where it's done in a more healthier way, in a more self-sufficient way, to where there's no grease, there's no fatty chemicals and preservatives and such like that. Or simply Popeye's chicken restaurants must shut down. People are in a health kick, yes, but that doesn't mean it's going to be strictly chicken. And seeing that Popeye just knows that it's strictly chicken for some doesn't mean you can put fried chicken on to the points of where they can still get heart attacks, strokes, and such like that. Even hell, even KFC has built up their system to where they do things a lot more sufficiently and health related. And yes, they've been around a lot longer than Popeyes. So basically, Popeyes needs to follow the same creed sooner than they may have thought. And getting back onto New York, when it comes to the health aspect, you want to do something that would be health conscious, New York, and this would also relate to every other state in the U.S. Those who do smoke are surprisingly still willing to pay $7 to $8, $7 to $20, $30 for cigarettes. Yet now there's an epidemic of those new type of cigarettes with a flavoring for that are directed towards children, which is a bad move. Even the ones in their 20s are smoking these things, the flavored type of nicotine. It's just as hazardous, just as easy, if not easier, and faster for a person to have a heart attack, a stroke, complete demise, even at a young age, even something gone wrong up here as well. Not in the thought process, but something can happen to the brain. Be that, of course, like if you were smoking weed, for example, and I don't, I've never smoked weed, but in that sense, you need the brain needs air as much as the whole entire body needs air. The heart pumps enough blood to give you enough to breathe. It it totally gives you enough to do it, and it's working its butt off. By smoking any number of things, by doing any type of narcotic, you're gradually closing the air pockets within that within the body that give various parts of your body that need the natural air. And I know pollution can do the same thing, but If you do any narcotics, if you smoke anything, even the flavored ones, if you do marijuana, weed, and all that crap, you're not really helping. Even medical marijuana can have the same effect. And many people think, oh no, medicinal medical marijuana is regulated. Well, it's not. It's not as regulated as you think. Think about that. They may say that medicinal marijuana is regulated only for those who are prescribed. There are many people who can easily sneak that shit and give phony bullshit information and get it just so they can get high. And it's done more times than it's been reported on the news because everything looks legit and all this crap. So to New York and every other state in the U.S., you need to work together as much as you may not want to and fight the nicotine companies to the points to where there's no numbers and amounts of cigarettes in the U.S. And then we can also help our allies along the way to do the same. This would only force the nicotine companies to try to sell them on the black market, which basically will not really be a successful action for them. So New York, if you in New York and other states, if you want to be more than health conscious, more than health, um, you know, then you need to start by getting rid of cigarettes and the flavored cigarettes and and work even harder with the FBI and CIA on the narcotic situation. And if the nicotine companies want don't like what I say, I don't give a damn. I care about everybody, even our children, equally, and I don't want anybody to lose anybody over a product, even due to a product that the company known as the nicotine companies make off of people. These little commercials aren't really doing the job. One, by giving a piece of yourself just to get a damn pack of smokes. It's gorish in some respect, but it's not sending a message. None of these ones, even the ones with the little hole in the throat here. I don't have one, of course. As you can tell, I don't have one, but I'm just giving you an example. None of those none of those commercials are making leeway. They're not making any difference. All you're doing is showing even to the younger youth, oh, smoking is okay. Even though that same message is saying smoking is bad for you. Even if the parents were to say, oh, smoking is really bad for you to to the young child, the child doesn't see it that way. If you keep on showing shit like that, they're gonna think it's okay. I mean, just it was the same thing in my generation and the generations even before mine. That the cigarette companies kept on doing advertisements, and the youth to teenage thought it was okay to smoke. So therefore, that's where the money came in for the nicotine companies, didn't it? So New York and other states in the U.S. need to work together, completely wipe clean the cigarette amounts of every brand, every type, every kind, including the flavored ones. And for those that will have for the people who would generally have what's known as nicotine withdrawals, nicotine fits, what have you, there's ways to circumvent that, to where you're able to handle it a lot better. And with this, the insurance companies have to be able to help pay for it, even for those on low income situations. And that is, there are many, many different types of herbal supplements or what have you else outside the narcotic. So pot, marijuana, medicinal, and not, but more natural things. And you can get them at your health food place, like for example, Elliott's out here in Sacramento and Citrus Heights. Out in Sacramento Citrus Heights, actually. Not here exactly, but out in Sacramento Citrus Heights, among other places, among other cities and counties across the United States. Those it may take some time. I'm not going to lie to you. It may take some time for your body to recoup from it as you do those natural supplements. But do it as a physician recommends. You don't want to over. You can easily OD on these things too. By the way, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Just do it as what physicians recommend for you and for your teenage and for those in your 20s and 30s and then and beyond. If you have any questions to why I mentioned the things I mentioned on this, please do ask me on the bottom comment thing. And if you want to join my advocate disability advocate, the C.R.P.H.A. disability advocate, or the C.R.P.H.A. health watch, or the C.R.P.H.A. humanitarian advocate, or the business advocate, or the business support advocating part of my company, please let us know. The one thing is that many people may know but don't really take the initiative to actually show that they know this, to actually not only do it for other people around them, but also most, which is also equally important, for themselves. If one wants to live long, even for their children, even for their future children, if they don't already have children quite yet, you need to take heed to what I say. Because smoking anything can shorten your life extremely more than you think you can. Nobody's invincible. Not one person, no matter what age you are not invincible to anything on any level and any type of thing. You're not invincible to the negative cause and effects of smoking, and you're not invincible in the negative cause and effects of doing anything in the sense of narcotics. You're not invincible in the sense of drinking and driving. As much as many teens may still think that they are, especially. Even 20-year-olds may think that they are. Oh, I'm not that plastered. I'll be able to get behind the wheel. Several hours later, major fucking twisted metal and broken glass and busted up fucking bodies. I am in support of the Mothers Against Drunk Driving, which was known as the MAD. The MAD. Anyway. And I am in support of the ERA, which was the well-known feminist movement and group of the 1970s. The feminist movement of today, including the Me Too movement, is a load of shit. It's not doing anything positive for women on any level, especially relationship-wise. And even in marriage aspects, either, it's not doing anything. Even the parental aspects, it's not doing anything positive for women. I tell it how it is. I tell the truth. I tell what logic, what the logic is on the whole thing. But I can tell you one thing. Each time I go out there on my travels, I talk to women. I'm a single person. I talk to women. I've talked to a number of women uh, within last week actually. Not one, not one has shown any interest in me. That's okay. I don't like it, but I can deal. But the basic fact is that I do the one thing that women don't like when men do it. That is, when men force themselves on the woman, and the woman doesn't know them fully, know the dude fully. You men can get in deep shit in prison for it, which basically makes women hate men even more. I'm not siding with women. I'm not siding with anything. But the basic fact is, I'm 100% behind the law, and I'm also 100% behind spiritual, positive things. Even though right now it doesn't seem like things are happening positive for me right now, but I believe to inform people the way and to help people out in any way I can, like I've done in retail for 12 years. Although I'm not in retail right now, I'm doing advocating since 2004. But I'm being honest, men need to treat women with the utmost respect, and if they don't have any connection of wanting to be with you, hey, that's on them, not on you. Same thing for women. If the guy doesn't have any connection of wanting to be with you, on them. But the one thing is, And this is the relationship advocacy part of it. This is just out of the blue here. The one thing is that when men approach women, we get blown off. But when women approach men, more often than not, they don't get blown off. More often than not. Of course, the same thing, it goes towards the base of attraction. There's many women out there I've talked to that I wouldn't mind being. But how the hell am I supposed to know if they want to be with me? The basic fact is the woman needs to show that they want to, that they have any level of interest in you, even though they may think that you have an interest in them. Let them think that, and see if they have the same interest, and let them show it. Men, let the women show it. That's what I'm doing, and it's working, obviously. Although it hasn't worked to the point where I actually have a woman right beside me or not right now, but time can only tell. Putting the relationship thing aside, but never forget that. And do not dismiss what I said on the disability. Do not dismiss what I said on the health aspect. And do not dismiss what I said on the parental part, because everything is 100% true, logic, and positive and factual. So is the relationship thing, but the main focus on this one is health. The disabled, diagnosed, wheelchair, blind, handicapped, in the wheelchair, mentally handicapped, diagnosed, handicapped, what have you, and the health aspect when it comes to the restaurant and smoking and such. There is one thing that I've noticed also that brings up a very, very disturbing thing that you'd think that a stadium would take heed of and make sure it doesn't happen. Jim Crandall of Fox 40 News, the sports reporter, the one I respect. He reported on Facebook and possibly on the news, although I didn't see it, but I saw the Facebook post of it. Is that I believe it's the Oakland Coliseum or the stadium essentially where Oakland Athletics still play, and the Raiders used as their field till late anyway, until I guess practically current now. He made a pun, sort of a pun, which I understand. Does it cost extra to have a soft drink or a refreshment with rat droppings in it? Presumably, the person that bought or had the people who have bought refreshments or of any type, it could be liquefied or whatever. There was a sense and texture of rat droppings, and possibly they got some on their face when they were doing this, with a cup. You'd think that a stadium like that would be more health conscious, more health aware. I'm not saying they're perfect, but with that particular type of reporting, usually the places and even stadiums don't take heed too much to it. Every stadium across the country of the U.S. and our allies and many other places need to take heed to make sure that there is no infestation of anything, type, sort, and kind, to where there's no droppings of anything on any food portion, drinks or cups, whatever the hell else. And if you cannot do that, and if you refuse to do that, you might as well close up shop or sell sell the facility to ones who will take the responsibility and more than the initiative to make sure that the infestation and droppings and such like that does not happen. And it doesn't cost that much to make sure that those things don't happen. I know many companies may think, oh, it's too much to do this or to have this prevention happen. That's a load of shit. That's a fucking phony ass excuse. It's so equally as phony as where Walmart, not too long ago, Walmart closed their store on El Camino and Watt Avenue in Sacramento. The excuse was that I heard, and of course I heard some other ones along the way, but one of them I heard from one of the employees that was working at that location, saying that the Walmart company didn't want to pay for the plumbing and the restructuring of the building. To even keep it earthquake safe, among others. They didn't want to take the money, and yet Walmart has been making more than buco fucking bucks, more than enough than they can even handle themselves. So that excuse of not wanting to, you know, pay for the plumbing to where there's a free flowing type of thing going on in through their plumbing, and to restructure their stores to where they're earthquake and and safe in other ways as well. The phony excuse. If Walmart is not willing to do the logical and instead close their damn stores, they shouldn't be building so huge of stores. One, they should be completely smaller than, say, Woolworths was. They might as well be the size of fucking Radio Shack in that case, or the well-known Radio Shack stores. If they're not willing to do that with their large stores, they might as well be the size of fucking Radio Shack and the old well-known Sears catalog stores, which were pretty small as well through the 1970s and 80s. Something to think about, right, Walmart? By closing stores, you're not really helping the economic aspect either, Walmart, by closing stores, which basically you're also making the employment line even way worse. the employment situation way worse, to where the unemployment line is extremely longer. Of course, the way you've been operating by treating your employees in the most negative way, from what I've heard, even with the documentary films I've seen, not a good sign, not a good look on you either, Walmart. Hell, Target's been doing a lot better than you, and yet they lease and rent their buildings and their locations, and they may have built some, but you know, at least they treat their employees a lot better than you have, Walmart. If those who are shop at Walmart want to know what I'm talking about, look for "Is Walmart Good for America?" documentary. And high cost for for low prices. You can get them at your local library. DVDs mostly. If you guys have any questions or if you want to talk to me about anything I said on this video, please let me know. And if you want to join my advocating company, in which I consider it a company, although I'm not going to say the way why, because I enjoy helping people any way I can, within reason, of course. And if there's any women that I've run into watching this video, I'm always going to be around. But if you want to get to know me, you need to be showing that you want to know me, to where I can get to know you as well. For the women. For the rest, who don't have any interest in me, which I can care less right now. But I enjoy helping people out any way I can, either way. Of course, within reason. Again, if you have any questions or if you want to talk with me about anything that I said on this video or any other my advocate videos, please let me know. Have a good day and please stay safe, even during the holiday.